one-stop channel for teacher trainees. In today's session, you'll be listening to adult education. By the end of the session, you will be able to define what is adult education programs chalked out by the government, the need for adult education programs, and the problems faced in implementing adult education programs. First, let me define what is adult education. Any education that is given to adults above 18 years through non-formal methods is called as adult education. To promote adult education, National Literacy Mission was started in 1988 to impart functional literacy to people between 15 to 35 years. In 1956, Fundamental Education Center was set up. It was later renamed as Department of Adult Education under NCERT in 1961. It became independent in 1971. That is, it became an independent authority. Later, this Department of Adult Education was called as Directorate of Non-Formal Education, that is, Directorate of Non-Formal Adult Education, and later on it was renamed as Directorate of Adult Education. At present, the Directorate of Adult Education has the status of a subordinate office. The National Literacy Mission Authority, which is an autonomous wing of Ministry of Human Resource Development, is the nodal agency of overall planning and management and funding of adult education programs. So the nodal agency means a deputed office. So the National Literacy Mission is a deputed office of the Ministry of Human Resource Development for the overall planning and management as well as funding of adult education programs. Now let us move on to the adult education programs that have been chalked out by the government of India. The first program is social education, which was launched in 1951 till 1956. It was a literacy program and it was an extension of general education and social consciousness. So this was an amalgamation of general education and social consciousness. And the second in adult education program is Gram Shikshan Mohim. This was launched in 1959 as an experimental basis in the state of Maharashtra, which was implemented in 25 districts. Then the third educational program is Farmers Functional Literacy Program. This Farmers Functional Literacy Program is an upgraded version of the Green Revolution that you all must have known. Farmers Literacy Project was implemented to make farmers functionally literate in high-yielding cultivation areas. Hence, this program was launched. Then the next adult education program is Workers' Education, which was initiated through Central Board of Workers' Education and its institutes. And the fifth one is Non-Formal Education for Women. This non-formal education for women was launched in 1975, which was also celebrated as the International Women's Year. In this program, functional skills with literacy to promote health and hygiene, childcare practices, and attitudinal changes were taught. Also, health and hygiene of women, food and nutrition, home management, family welfare programs, community education, citizenship training, vocational training, and self-employment. So these were all the programs that were given for women. And the next program is National Adult Education Program, which was launched on 2nd October 1978 for the removal of illiteracy among 15 to 35 years. The main aim of this National Adult Education Program was to educate 100 million adults within 5 years. So this was started in 1978. So the 5 years meant to be as 1983. So their main aim was to educate 100 million adults within 1983. And then the next important program is National Literacy Mission. This National Literacy Mission was started in 1988 under the Central Ministry of Human Resource Development. As it was said earlier, National Literacy Mission was started to impart functional literacy to people between 15 to 13, 5 years. So these are all the adult education programs that were chalked out by the government for educating adults. Now let's move on to the need of adult education programs. There are many needs. Let us see one after the other. To eradicate mass literacy, to strengthen democracy in India, to develop social and national integration among people, to develop integrated rural development in villages, to control increase of population, to eradicate poverty and illiteracy, to develop self-occupational skills among the rural youths, to eradicate rural unemployment, to develop knowledge and skills required for individual, community, as well as national growth, to develop environmental conservation, ICT, etc. So, these were all the necessities that made the government to bring in the adult education programs. Now, let's move on to the last part of this session, that is problems of adult education. There are many problems in implementing adult education programs. Let us see some of them. Economic problems, ignorance and poverty, migration problem, health problems, gender issues, orientation or preparation problem, motivation problem, attendance problem, lack of good social workers, and lack of proper equipment. So these are all the problems in implementing adult education programs. So my dear students, by now you should have known what adult education is all about, how this adult education program came into existence, what are all the adult education programs chalked out by the government, what is the need for adult education programs, and also the problems in implementing adult education programs. Meet you all with yet another topic. Until then, take care.